4chan has been the hub for some pretty disturbing content in the past, some of it being rather gruesome, with some just being flat out disturbing. Here are 5 disturbing posts found on 4chan. Number 5. Alien photo shuts down 4chan. In February of 2017, a photo of a reptilian alien was posted onto a 4chan message board. Mysteriously, almost immediately afterward, the entire 4chan website went offline. When the site was back up, the photo was gone. According to witnesses, the post was made sometime around midnight in 4chan's politically incorrect board. The post was titled 24489, taken approximately 24 miles northwest of Luke Air Force Base, Arizona Lab H4C. The Air Force Base mentioned in the post resides just outside of Phoenix. It was built during World War II but is currently an F-16 training base. According to reports, the photo was only live for about 1 full minute before the website went offline. The original photo has not yet been found anywhere, though a partially recovered version of the photo has been. However, it's highly corrupted and not much can be made out, aside from a tree-shaped object and a humanoid object, with all detail being entirely absent. A description of the photo, which was posted to 4chan, reads, "The alien head was seen from the left side and it was looking to the left in the picture and slightly at the camera, almost diagonally. I did see the alien, yellow scales, black eyes with small pursed lips, though it was a shill thread so I didn't open but saw the pic. It almost looked like it had scales all over and was dark in color. Its eyes looked like dried up prunes and had human-like features but much smaller in comparison to its head." Soon afterward, many commenters seemed to believe the creature was likely a reptilian, which is a type of alien that many alien theorists believe may have visited Earth in the past. To this day, no one has been able to locate or recover the original photo, and it's unlikely that they ever will. Number 4. How to grow crystals. In 2009, an anonymous user posted to 4chan with what he called a recipe for making homemade crystals. This experiment was aimed towards children and was very reminiscent of the kits you can buy at craft stores for kids today. In the post, the user states, "Okay, so this is easy. You should have all the chemicals you need around the house. You'll need a bunch of pennies and a straw. Put these aside. Get a clear jar, scoop 2 tablespoons of salt into it, and a tablespoon of baking soda. Now the first important ingredient should be in the bathroom cleaning supplies, ammonia. Put it in the jar until it's 2/3 full. The last ingredient is laundry bleach. Use this to fill the rest of the jar. Now drop the pennies into the bottom and quickly take the straw and blow bubbles onto the pennies to get the crystals going. You should be able to see stringy crystals forming after about 30 seconds of blowing. The attached photo took around 10 minutes of steady blowing. The pink and purple colors are from the CO2 in your breath. Blowing until you're dizzy will increase the amount of CO2 and give better colors. This so-called experiment went fairly viral, and there have been numerous reported cases of children actually attempting it. However, there's one huge issue. The ingredients listed in the recipe create a highly toxic chlorine gas, which, when breathed in, will destroy the lining of your lungs, causing you to pass out, suffocate, or possibly even die, which some children actually did. Now, it's important to point out that 4chan as a whole isn't always this terrible. In fact, it's fairly similar to Reddit in a lot of ways. It was created for like-minded people to chat and connect. However, sadly, users like this often give the site a terrible name. Posts like this are a haunting reminder to never blindly trust anything you see on the internet. Always be skeptical and do a healthy amount of research before attempting experiments like this. Number 3. Mountain Dew. Okay, so this next post isn't necessarily creepy or mysterious, but it just goes to show you the disturbing amount of power that 4chan has, though it's often used in the worst of ways. In 2012, Mountain Dew ran a campaign allowing fans to name their latest green apple flavored soda. The campaign was called Dub the Dew, and rather than just giving fans a handful of names to vote upon, they decided to let fans create their own original names, allowing the public to then vote on those. Someone at Pepsi Company, the owners of Mountain Dew, must have quickly taken notice of this huge mistake though, as the website was taken offline shockingly quickly. However, some pretty interesting names had already made their way to the top of the charts, and within hours, the most highly voted name for Mountain Dew's new flavor was Hitler Did Nothing Wrong, with a few variations of Gushing Granny following close behind, and Diabetes coming in 9th place. This wasn't the first nor the last time that 4chan expressed this kind of power, though. In fact, following the announcement of Justin Bieber's second world tour, he ran a voting poll, allowing fans to cast their votes on which country he should visit during his journey. Once 4chan caught wind of this, nearly 900,000 users voted and nearly had Bieber sent to North Korea. A similar scenario took place with Taylor Swift, with her running a campaign allowing fans to choose a high school for her to perform at during a tour. However, once again, 4chan displayed its power and nearly had Taylor sent to a school for the deaf, though she politely declined, instead deciding to send the school a fairly sizable donation. Number 2. London Attacker. As I'm sure we all remember, there was a pretty traumatic attack that took place in London in March of 2017. However, some believe this attack may have been announced on 4chan a day prior to it actually taking place. A post was made to the site around 3 p.m. on the 21st of March, the day before the attack. The post contained an image of 2 small firearms, followed by a string of Morse code. The user who posted the photo registered as being Danish, however, it's highly likely that he was using a proxy to hide his true identity. The Morse code following the photo translated to a link, which took users to a paste bin page, which then contained a string of binary code. After translating it, it provided GPS coordinates fairly close to the Big Ben Tower, which is exactly where the attack occurred. To further imply that this post was foreshadowing the events that were to take place, the pastebin post was made through a guest account, which would not have allowed the post to have been modified after the shooting had taken place, confirming that the attack was likely premeditated. A large number of users feared that this information may have led to the site being shut down, either by local authorities or by the government. However, this never happened. In fact, one rather odd thing to note is that the photo of the handguns that was attached to this post was actually from an earlier post made in 2010. It seems rather odd that the attacker would recycle an older photo rather than simply taking one of his own, though this could have been to further ensure that he masked his identity. It was never confirmed if the attack was directly related to this post, though it's been widely assumed that it was. However, we'll likely never know as the shooter was pronounced dead at the scene of the attack. Number 1. Exploding Spoon. In 2010, an anonymous user posted a science experiment to 4chan, urging users to try it. In his post, he states, "You have to try this. Go to your kitchen and find a nice metal spoon. Teaspoons work too, but normal ones are better. Get yourself a lighter. The bigger the flame, the better. Get some duct tape and wrap it around the handle, about 4 or 6 layers. Start heating up the spoon with the lighter. Make it really hot, holding it just above the flame for about 2 minutes should work. Go to a faucet, turn on very cold water at full force. Hold the spoon directly under the faucet. Post results." Users were indeed quick to post their results. However, they may not be what you would expect. Most expected the spoons to emit some sort of smoke, simply because of the difference in temperature. However, most people's spoons actually exploded. If this doesn't make a whole lot of sense, think of it like this. When metal gets hot, it expands. The hotter the metal, the more it expands. When metal gets cold, it contracts. The colder the metal, the more it contracts. When you take a piping hot spoon and place it under freezing cold water, most spoons will contract so quickly that the metal will actually crack. The energy behind this cracking can actually cause some spoons to explode, shooting shrapnel, which could obviously cause some pretty serious injuries. Again, it should go without saying that you shouldn't trust everything you see on the internet, specifically from sites like 4chan. There are far too many people out there looking to get a quick laugh at someone else's expense. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to click that like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell to keep updated with our videos.